Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Mystery Theory. Today is another video for the Mystober series, where I will be sharing a new video every day for the month of October. If you missed the previous videos, please check out the playlist that will be on the top of the screen right now. Now, today we're gonna talk about the killer clown. This was a construction contractor and community volunteer that lived a double life as a serial murderer. Now, this is also part of kind of a series that I have for this week. If you remember yesterday, we talked about simply irresistible killers. Yeah, they look good. People, for some weird reason, love them. And it's kind of part of that series. Also, the previous video was about the real inspiration for the movie Psycho, which was a much creepier guy than the one in the movie. So this is another category of those serial murderers. Let me tell you a little bit of the headlines per se of the story. There's a lot of different videos about this, but I feel like not everyone knows about this regular guy with a dark secret. In the 1970s, Pogo the Clown was a favorite character at fundraisers and parades in Norwood Park, which is a tidy Chicago suburb. He was the construction contractor John Wayne Gacy, who volunteered with a civic group. But this guy, John Wayne Gacy, troubled some of his acquaintances when, still in full makeup and costume, he would drop into the Good Luck Lounge and throw back a few drinks. His neighbors were right to worry about this guy. Now, he was born in Chicago in 1942. He was described as shy and awkward throughout his school years and suffered from a minor heart condition that kept him from playing sports. At 9 years old, he was molested by a family friend, and after a playground accident at 11, he began to suffer occasional blackouts. He struggled to fit in 4 different high schools where he dropped out, ran away briefly, then he returned home and ended up graduating from business college in 1963. He soon took a position as a management trainee at the Nunn-Bush Shoe Company. He married Marilyn Myers in 1964, and the couple settled in Waterloo, Iowa, where he managed his father-in-law's Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise. mattresses. He and his wife had 2 children, and from the outside, their life looked good. But John was troubled by his sexual attraction to teenage boys. In 1967, he lured a 15-year-old to his house with promises of adult movies and alcohol, and then assaulted him. Other attacks followed, and in 1968 he was arrested and charged on 2 counts of sodomy. He pled guilty and received a sentence of 10 years in prison. Though his life in Waterloo and his marriage were over, he became a model prisoner and was released on parole after only 18 months. In the summer of 1970, 28-year-old John Gacy returned to Chicago to start over. He got a job as a cook, and his mother helped him buy a 2-bedroom house in Norwood Park. 2 years later, he married Carol Hoff. In 1974, he started his own business, PDM Contractors, and began volunteering as a charity clown. John was soon living a double life. While he continued his abuse with children, 15-year-old Timothy McCoy in 1972. And that was also his first murder. He took his second victim in 1974 and the third one in 1975, and things started to escalate very fast. Over the next 3 years, he assaulted, tortured, and murdered at least 30 more boys, all in his own home. He stashed the bodies in the crawl space under the house, and despite the disgusting odors, the family entertained friends and family, blaming the smell on humidity. Eventually, John admitted to his wife that he preferred boys to women. She divorced him in 1976, but his spree continued. On December 11, 1978, after 15-year-old Robert Peace didn't return home from a job interview with John's firm, the mother of the boy reported him missing. Local police questioned John Gacy and let him go, but they continued to monitor him because 3 other employees of PDM Contractors had disappeared recently. The killer seemed unconcerned, even having a friendly meals with the police officer tasked with following him. On December 19, he invited 2 of the detectives into his home, which was filled with a putrid stench. Stressed and jittery, John was arrested. On December 21st, investigators examining the crawl space under his house immediately found human remains. Gacy confessed to the murder of this last boy, Peace, The excavation of his property took 2 months and recovered 29 bodies, 26 of them in the crawl space. The youngest victim was 9 years old and the oldest in the mid-20s. At his trial in early 1980, he pled not guilty by reason of insanity. He still received 12 death sentences and 21 life sentences and was executed by lethal injection on May 10th, 1994. Now, to make things a little bit more creepy, if this case is not creepy enough for you, let's talk about the fear factor of a clown killer. I mean, let's just throw it out there. The creepy case of John Wayne Gacy made the killer clown a pop culture icon. Well, thank you. I don't know. That's creepy. Insane Clown Pose recording since 1992. This horrorcore hip-hop group performs in clown makeup and incorporates circus imagery into their concerts. Devoted fans called juggalos wear clown makeup and affect an obsession with murder. Example number 2. It. By the way, the It movie, the first one, was creepy to me, but if you watch the clown movie on Netflix, the one that you see little bones, they're like chicken bones, that one is creepier than the very first It movie. I wouldn't watch that movie on Netflix. No, I still have nightmares about that movie. Haven't watched it too, but it's part of this thing. As a second example, when Stephen King's novel was the basis for a 1990 television miniseries of the same title. The villain is a clown with sharp fangs and claws who lives in the sewers and preys on children. In case you didn't know about what it means, the movie itself. And the third and last example is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This 1988 cult favorite featured aliens dressed as clowns who collect humans by encasing them in cotton candy cocoons. Creepy. And then transport their catch to the home planet. Well, there you go. You didn't think it would get worse? Hey, there you have it. Killer clowns that come from outer space that will wrap you in sugar to send you to another planet. Great. But that's just to show you how a lot of things that we see today, a lot of things that are more popular today, are based on things that are really creepy. And to be honest, once you watch the movies, you realize that the real case was not only scarier because it was real, but the details are pretty much hard to I don't even know how to say it, but it's very hard to make them creepier than what it really is. I mean, the movies change things, but the real thing, it's in my opinion, the scariest of them all. So, now you know about Pogo the Clown. This John Wayne Gacy guy. The origins of maybe a movie that is popular. if you really think about it. This guy, John Wayne, I mean, he dressed up as a clown to help in this charity events, but really he was not using them, or at least they were not part of what he used while he was doing all these crazy things to those boys. Which is horrible, which is disgusting, and it's kind of unbelievable that the guy only served 18 months and got free and continued to do even worse things than what he was in for. Anyways, that was a little bit of history of this killer clown pop culture that it's very popular nowadays, especially around Halloween. I have to say that I'm trying to convince a couple of my kids to go with me to this haunted house for Halloween, but there's quite a few. One of them, it's clown related. They said no clowns, so we might go to a different one. They have, I don't know, I haven't seen them yet, but here in Utah they have this, you probably heard about the Lagoon, which is the theme park. They have Halloween nights, and it's kind of, I don't know, I've always heard things about it, but I've never been there. But again, there was years back